Annabel Reed, a 25-year-old woman new to Drywater, arrived seeking honest work. 3 days later, hunger drove her to steal dried meat from Harland Blackwood's wagon, Harland, the town's wealthiest, most ruthless cattle baron. Her mistake cost her dearly. Dragged by her hair through the dust, boots battered her ribs, bruising them purple. Her dress tore, blood and dirt staining the white fabric. Bound tightly, she was lashed to a wooden post in the town square. Children stared, wide-eyed, merchants watched from doorways. The town gathered, eager for a spectacle. Harland's men taunted her. "Hold your head high, thief. Let them see what happens to beggars who touch his property." A guard yanked her chin up, her swollen eye squinting against the sun. Pain throbbed in her hip from the blows. Worse than the pain was the humiliation, the crowd's eyes weighing her shame heavier than the ropes. A man shouted, "Cut her hair off. Make her a lesson." Another yelled, "Shave it right here." The mob laughed, clapping like it was a circus. Annabel's throat tightened, her lips trembling. In a cracked but defiant whisper, she said, "They want to shave me in public." Murmurs grew louder. A woman spat at her feet. A boy threw a stone, striking her shoulder. She closed her eyes, trying to recall her mother's voice, but the crowd's ridicule drowned it out. The ropes cut her wrists, blood trickling down her arms. Harland hadn't arrived, but his orders were clear: wait until the square filled, then strip her pride by shaving her scalp. No trial, no mercy, only shame. Dizzy from the beating, hunger gnawed at her, the same hunger that led to her theft. The town saw her not as a woman but as a spectacle. A spark of rage flickered inside her. She wasn't evil or dangerous, just hungry. Who in Drywater would care? Who would see her humanity? Her lips parted again. "If they cut my hair today, what will they take tomorrow?" No one answered. The crowd leaned closer, dust swirling, clinging to the blood on her face. She tasted iron on her tongue. She thought of running, but the ropes held her. She considered screaming, but her voice was hoarse. She thought of death but was too young to embrace it. So she waited, trembling, each second a blade of fear. The square filled, footsteps echoing on porches. The sun climbed, spotlighting her misery. Annabel stared at the horizon, praying for intervention. Would mercy come for a woman who stole food? Or was this her last moment under the open sky? Her head sagged against the post, hair veiling her swollen face. The crowd buzzed, eager for the shaving. Her stomach twisted, and she braced for the end. Then hooves thundered through the square. A tall horse pushed forward, dust swirling. The rider dismounted, boots hitting the dirt. Broad-shouldered, with a weathered face and a red scarf, he was Elias Kane, a rancher richer than the bank, known for fairness unlike Harland. Elias strode to the post, eyes scanning Annabel's torn dress, bruises, and despair. He faced the guard, tossing a leather pouch that clinked with silver coins. "That's more than enough," he said. "Cut her loose." The guard hesitated but complied, slicing the ropes. Annabel's knees buckled, but Elias caught her arm. "Easy now," he muttered. The crowd grumbled, cheated of their show. A woman hissed, "Let her starve." A man spat. Elias ignored them, lifting Annabel onto his horse. "Hold on," he said. She was too weak to reply. The horse moved, parting the crowd. Voices argued, some said Harland wouldn't forgive this, others whispered Elias did right. All watched as he carried her away. The road out of town was quiet. Annabel clung to the saddle, her head against Elias's shoulder, feeling a faint promise of safety. Why would a wealthy rancher risk his standing for a stranger? What would happen when Harland learned who took his prize? At Redstone Ranch, the horizon stretched wide with cattle grazing. Elias helped Annabel down. Martha, a gray-haired ranch hand, clucked, "Lord, she's half-starved." She guided Annabel to the big house, where the smell of stew wrapped around her. Annabel's stomach growled, earning chuckles. Martha set a bowl before her. "Eat, child. No one's taking it." Annabel's hands shook as she ate, tears welling, not just from food but from being treated as human. Elias watched from the doorway, his eyes unreadable but heavy. The next day, a rider arrived, Harlan's man, hand on his pistol. "Harlan says the girl's his. She's to be shaved, no matter what Cain paid." Elias stepped forward, voice calm but firm. "Tell Harlan no woman's property on my land. If he wants her, he'll regret coming himself." The rider sneered, spat, and galloped off, promising trouble. Annabel, clutching a mug of tea on the porch, knew it wasn't over. How far would Harlan go? Elias acted first. At sunrise, he saddled 2 horses and took Annabel to town. Fear knotted her stomach, but Elias was resolute. "If we wait, Harlan sets the rules. We make the law settle it." In dry water, whispers followed them, Elias's red scarf a bold marker. At the sheriff's office, the air smelled of tobacco. Sheriff Mollery, surprised to see Annabel, heard Elias's case. Elias dropped a ledger of witnesses and coins paid. "The debt settled. Write it down so Harlan can't touch her." The sheriff hesitated. "Harlan'll raise hell." Elias's jaw tightened. "He's not above the law." Annabel stood silent, hands twisting. Mollery sighed, wrote the decree, and stamped it. "This makes her free," he said. Annabel stared at the paper, her name now a shield. Tears burned, but she held them back. Outside, townsfolk gathered. Some muttered Harlan wouldn't stand for it, others thought it time someone challenged him. Elias handed Annabel the paper. "Keep it safe." She clutched it, knowing Harlan's wrath loomed. Would this paper protect her, or would blood spill first? Back at the ranch, Annabel found a rhythm, helping Martha, learning to saddle horses, laughing again. Nights on the porch with Elias brought peace, and something deeper grew, respect, trust, perhaps love. Elias never called himself a hero, but to Annabel, his kindness proved compassion existed. She'd been beaten, mocked, nearly broken, yet rose with dignity. One evening, Annabel asked, "Why me? Why risk so much?" Elias met her gaze. "No one deserves to be broken for being hungry. I believe in chances." Their laughter mingled with the cattle's calls, marking a new beginning. This story isn't just romance, it's a lesson. How often do we judge someone's worst moment? Annabel's crime was survival, not greed. What if compassion replaced scorn? If you were in that crowd, would you throw a stone or untie the rope? Would you stand with the mob or with Elias?